How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another tier list, and we're going to be looking at a community made tier list here that basically looks at a ton of different more modern muscle cars. I don't want to just say modern because there's some stuff that is back in like the 90s 80s for this one, but as you can see, there's a ton of different cars listed here, so we're going to just jump right into it. Some of these cars, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really know what they are just from like their small like little images. I could tell what most of them are, but probably going to be using Google Lenses a lot throughout this video to just kind of search up some of the cars. But just getting like some of the first ones right out of the way. Looking down here at these two kind of pre-facelift S197 Mustangs, I believe I see a small badge on the red one, so I'm going to use that as a GT. And then this baby blue one right here I'll look at as kind of the V6. So looking at a GT, it's a perfect kind of starter muscle car for sure. I would say probably putting it somewhere up here is good, because with that 3-valve V8 in it, it's not necessarily like a good drag car right from the factory, but at the same time, it's not necessarily just like a holiday car either. I could put it pretty much somewhere mid here. It can kind of fall between like either one of those tiers. And again, this is kind of community made on tiermaker.com, so I'll leave a link to this list in the description below if you guys want to have a go at it. But looking at like the categories, the only real categories I'm going to take it like face value in this video are like daily and drag cars, and then mom mobiles. The daily and drag cars, I'm going to reserve those for cars that basically right off the lot you can go to a drag strip with, put up good times. Now moving on to that V6. I have one of these. If you've been subscribed to my channel, you know that I have a 2008 V6 S197, and I'm gonna put it at budget daily. I think this is like the perfect category for it. Yes, it could be fun if you have like a manual transmission. It's a great starter car. It was my first car. I still have it, and it's my daily, and it's fine. It's reliable. It's not too, obviously not powerful at all. But it's not necessarily a bad car. Now moving on, this first picture here, I believe this is a CTS-V. I'm going to put this up in, I really like this, I don't know, I would say like a daily kind of car, but I'll put it in drag for now. I'm not really too sure on their reliability. Definitely a top tier car. Make great power from the factory. And then moving on, we have a new Mach 1. Now this new Mach 1, I would say it's something you could take to the track right off the dealership lot. Something that would also be a good daily. And again, I'm taking these categories kind of like face value here. So I'll leave it in the same category as the CTS-V. I know that the CTS-V, I believe, would make more power than it. I do have a sweet spot for Mustangs, again, having one, so I'll leave it in there for now. Now moving on, this yellow C6 here, I believe those look like Z06 headlights. I'll just check to see if there's not like another C6 picture, and yeah, there's another one right there. So I'll be using that as like your C6 base, and then this as the Z06. This one going right up to daily and drag. Now, yes, I do know that those LS7s, a lot of people will have to replace the heads on those engines after like 60, 70, maybe even 80,000 miles. I know that they can have some reliability concerns, but the C6 Z06 is probably one of, if not the best, like modern muscle cars out there. It's got that 427 or 7-liter naturally aspirated V8 in it, and it's just an amazing car. So now sticking with the C6s, I would probably put this somewhere up here. Again, C6s are fantastic cars. I'll leave it in here for now, because I feel like I shouldn't put it higher than like a Mach 1 or CTS-V. It can definitely go into that daily category. Actually, you know what? I'll put it up there. I'll put it up there for now. They're cheaper cars, especially now in 2024. You can get one for a lot cheaper than a CTS-V or a Mach 1. And I feel like you can have just as much, if not more fun with kind of like a base model C6 here. Now moving on and staying with Corvettes, the C5, I really do like the C5. I like the pop-up headlights. I love cars with pop-up headlights. But I'll put it in this category because I feel like a lot of people don't really like it as much. I could definitely maybe put it down in holiday car. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put the GT down in holiday car. Again, I do love GTs, but I definitely think that you know, you can't, I wouldn't necessarily put a C5 and a S197 Mustang GT in the same category, so I'll leave it there for now. Right here, I believe this blue one is a C6 ZR1. Got to put it up there if the Z06 is up there for obvious reasons. I think it's the ZR1 because the kind of glass little thing in the hood there, all the C6s came with that. And then moving on, we have a C7 Corvette. Now, there's another picture of a C7 Corvette, excuse me, here. So I think this might be the Z06. It's definitely not the ZR1 because the ZR1 has the more aggressive front bumper. I actually driven a C7 Z06 on the channel. I'll put the link on top of the video right now. Amazing car. I'll put it, I don't know if I want to put it in the same category as like the Z06 and the ZR1. But screw it. I guess I'm gonna put it all the way up there as well. I have a sweet spot in my heart for Z06s as well, and I have a funny feeling that this list is definitely going to look a decent amount lopsided, even though it probably shouldn't. But I really liked driving the C7 Z06 on my channel when I did a review on one. It was yellow, just like the one in the picture. Now for the C7 base model, I'm probably going to have to put it up here as well. I mean, what can I say? Like, I feel like we're just getting dominated by Corvettes on the top here, right off rip. But I'll kind of switch it up a bit and go for one of the earlier, like the 5th gen Camaros. I could put this right down with the S197 Mustang GT. I've done a review on a 5th gen Camaro as well. It's got its pros and cons. It's definitely heavier than the 5th gen Mustangs. I do like the design. When Chevy kind of reintroduced the Camaro nameplate with Transformers back in the day, I mean, I was a kid back then, so that was just perfect advertising, I think. But now looking at the V6 Camaros, I could definitely just put that right down there with the V6 Mustangs as well. Again, great cars, great dailies. Don't buy a V6 domestic muscle car if you think that you have a fast car. But if you want like a good daily that's still like definitely fun to drive and you want that muscle car styling, or if you're buying like a first car, they make for great first cars. So I'll keep most of the V6 models down here. Now, speaking about V6s, we have the 3.5 Charger as well as the 3.6. I'm going to put the 3.6 up here, and I'm going to put the 3.5 down here. Again, these were different generations. This was when the Charger just got like reintroduced by Dodge. I hate the fact that this Charger got reintroduced with 4 doors. I don't like the look of it, and for that reason, literally just the look is separating that one from that one. I know that's a little bit biased, but I'll put that down there for now. Now for a Crown Vic, honestly, I love Crown Vics. I could put it like all the way up to like drag. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be realistic for the list. So I'll put it down in budget daily. Now, again, my personal opinions about Crown Vics, I think that they're one of the best like used cars, like best bang for your buck you can get out there. I mean, you can even find them for as low as like a couple $1,000s, and immediately you just have a rather light car. I mean, it's not Miata light, let's be real, but a rather light car, rear-wheel drive with a V8 in it. Super fun. Yeah, I'll leave it down in budget daily for now. Now, moving on, we have a Lincoln here. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I do not know the model of this Lincoln. I'm gonna put it down probably in Mommobile. You know what? I'll search it up real quick with like the Google Lens thing, just to like see what. Oh, okay, it was the Lincoln MKS. I'm not too familiar with their performance, to be honest with you, but just looking at that like little picture right there, I'm gonna leave it down in Mommobile for now. Now, looking at this picture of the red Camaro here, I don't think, I'm going to judge the black one like a V8, and I'm going to judge this red one like a V6. So that's going down in budget daily as well. And then next up we have the ZL1. This is another obviously fantastic car, going right up there in the daily and drag category, because I mean, they're new cars. Or if you got them new, you could just kind of daily it and it could be reliable, but you can immediately take that thing to the track, take that to the drag strip, and have a crap ton of fun with it. Now, getting some of these things all out of the way, the Chevy SS, I feel like crap car. I like kind of the modern retro design that Chevy was trying to go for. It kind of gives off like the PT Cruiser vibes, where manufacturers just started with the modern retro design but didn't really nail it yet. So now this one is actually the Mercury Marauder. That's going right down in Mobile as well. A lot of these cars I feel like definitely shouldn't be on this list, so I'm trying to thin them out a little bit. And this one as well, I think, yeah, I think that's a version of the Chevy SS, but the V6 version, going right down in Mobile as well. This is another Dodge Charger, very similar to the 3.5 V6 image, so that's going right down there as well. Trying to thin the herd a little bit here. Some of these older Cadillacs too, even if they're CTSVs, which I don't, again, there's no differentiation. I'm just throwing all the Cadillacs in here. Sorry for you Cadillac fans out there. And then this image right over here is actually kind of interesting. It's a 95 Thunderbird. When Ford tried to reintroduce the Thunderbird nameplate, I just think that that was kind of another big fail. Now, going back to some of the more exciting cars, we got the new 2020 GT500s going right up there. I feel like I don't even have to explain that. Terminator Cobra going right in drag because, again, they're older now. I feel like, you know, if you buy one of these off the used car market, you're probably going to have to just be wary of the reliability and the maintenance, but can still make for a really, really damn fun car. And then moving on, we got a new GT350. That is going right up in the daily in drag as well. So is the S197 GT500. This is my favorite Mustang ever. Had the privilege of doing a review on a 2014 GT500. Again, my most favorite Mustang ever. I love the new GT500s, don't get me wrong, but the fact that this was the last manual GT500 and it still has that live rear axle and just acts like it wants to kill you when you drive it, definitely gets the blood flowing a lot when you're driving that thing. Now, the new S550s, I believe this is just a regular S550. It looks pre-facelift, so between like 2015 to 2018. I'll put that in this category with the C5. It's definitely better than the older, like the 5th gen GT and the older Camaro, but not obviously as elite as some of these cars up here. And then staying on topic with the S550 GTs, post facelift, that can go right in there as well. I really love the design, but when it comes to performance, yes, it's a newer generation of the Coyote engine, but yeah, it's going right up there as well. They're very, very similar cars. And then the SN95 Mustang, perfect budget daily, especially in 2024. Same situation as the Crown Vic. You can find these for dirt cheap, and they can make for good project cars or just daily drivers, or if you know you want to have fun on a track. I'm sure you can put a little bit of power into that old 4.6 2-valve without it blowing up. So for that reason, I'll just put it into budget daily. Pontiac Solstice. Again, that should not be here. I feel like I get it that it's a domestic car. I get it that Pontiac was trying to, I guess, make it into at least look like a muscle car, but yeah, just absolutely shouldn't even be on this list with some of these other cars. Now, the Jeep SRT8, this was kind of the precursor to the modern day Trackhawks, so I'll put it up in. This is tough. I feel like it could go in any three of these categories. I really like it. Obviously, the fact that it's a SUV definitely hinders its performance, but it's just a fantastic car. Has that 392 in it from factory that you see with the Scat Packs. So I'll leave it down in holiday car. Obviously, that is definitely something that has a lot of daily drivability within it, being an SUV. Perfect car for any enthusiasts that also want a family car out there and want room to carry things or, you know, sit people. Now, right in here, it looks like we got an early 2000s Viper. This is going, I want to also put it in this category, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I have too many cars in this category already. You know what, screw it, it's just going up there. I love Vipers. I especially love the older ones. That last iteration of the Dodge Viper before they discontinue it was just beautiful. Now, this is a post-facelift S197 Mustang V6. I could tell from the like very, very small pony badge right here. This could go into budget daily as well. Probably not the best daily car as of right, or not the best, excuse me, budget car as of right now. Definitely can. This is probably the most expensive car in this category right now, just because it's a little bit newer than some of these other cars. But again, good daily driver. It's a V6. You know, don't expect that much from it. Very, very kind of comparative to the 3.6 liter V6 Charger. And now moving on and staying with the post facelift Mustangs, here is a GT. This can definitely go up in holiday car or wax queen. I do really like the post facelift ones, but I'll put it right where the other 5th gen Mustang GT is for now, because it's not as great, I guess, as the new S550s, but still fantastic cars. The last Mustang with the live rear axle. Now some of these other ones looks like, I don't even know what that is by the picture, and this one looks like SN95 V6. I'm putting that down in Mom-mobile just because I feel like it's just really bad. I think those came with like low, like 120 or 130 horsepower from factory, so not as fun as some of these other V6s up here. So I'll just leave that down there. And then next up we have your Catfish car, like your Catfish Camaro, that weird looking Firebird. This can definitely go up into drag, if I'm being completely honest. They were great cars. The designs, super ugly. Hate the designs, and for that reason I'm gonna leave it down here. It can also be a holiday car as well, but I'll leave it here for now, because I do have a sweet spot for those as well. I know this list is very opinionated, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people would put these even lower, like even down in like budget daily, but I'll leave it in the mid-tier list for now. Now moving on, we have a New Edge Mustang GT, simply because I know it has like that Terminator bumper, but that one I can clearly see like the Cobra badge, so I'll leave that down in budget daily as well, along with the SN95 Mustang GT. Very comparable to that one. Obviously they're in the same exact generation, and also kind of comparable to the Crown Vics. Yes, they're V8 cars, but some of the modern V6s, like I know that 5th gen Camaro V6 makes like 300 horsepower. Very comparable around the board. Probably the slowest cars in this category right now are like the pre-facelift S197 V6, or I guess even the post-facelift S197 V6 Mustang. Now the Ford Lightning, this is fantastic vehicle. I could put it up in drag, but I'll actually, you know what, I really like them. I kind of want to put them up there, especially just because that category says daily. I know I'm breaking my rule from before and not just looking at the title of the category, but they're fantastic vehicles. Really took a lot of people by surprise when they came to the market in like the 90s, and because of that I'll leave it up there. Probably a little bit too high for it, but I really do like those Lightnings. Now moving on, we have the F-body cars. Now I know the F-body cars, this also says F-body, but I know this one is talking about the more boxier, like early to mid 80s kind of Camaros, things of that nature. I'll put that up there as well. Great cars. Probably can even put them in drag, but I'll leave them there for now. And I know this video has already gone on like long enough. The 6th gen Camaro SS, I think, is another like perfect kind of mid-tier, upper mid-tier car. And then here, I think, yeah, this is a Challenger wide-body Hellcat, or it's a wide body. I'm gonna treat it like a Hellcat, and I'm going to put it up in the top tier. This is something, again, if it is a Hellcat and not like a if it was a 392, I'd probably put it down near drag, but I'm assuming that it's a Hellcat, so definitely going in the top tier. Probably the last muscle car ever. So because again, technically the Mustangs, the Camaros, they're more pony cars. The Corvettes are more sports cars. So I'll put it up there. I really liked when I did a review on a Hellcat. Yes, it was a Charger Hellcat. Gotta give it props. Now the Charger, I'm assuming this is an RT. Good holiday car. Again, I hate that when they reintroduced the Charger, they brought it back with 4 doors. I feel like all the old Chargers like disrespects a little bit of that heritage. But just for the fact that it's a more modern V8, definitely going to put it up there. I do like the newer Mustangs and the new Camaro up here a little bit better though than the Charger, so just a category below it. Now we have a Ram TRX. This was another kind of great, it's a great performing truck from factory. I'll put it up in drag, or I can, since I put the Lightning up here, I can even put it up here as well. I'm stuck in between these two categories. I'll leave it up here just because the Lightning's up here as well. But fantastic, fantastic truck from the factory. Now moving on, we have another Camaro. I think this is the SS. This was one of the different facelifts compared to obviously the yellow one. You can see the difference right there. I'll just leave it in the same one as this one. I think they're both 6th gens, or this yellow one is the post facelift 5th gen. But again, we're going through like a lot of different pictures here, so my brain's kind of shot at this time already. And down here we have what I believe to be an older Charger. That's the SRT8. I think the SRT8 came with that like hood decal. I'll put it up near probably their holiday car. Again, also like Wax Queen. They were really, really good cars. Could even put it up in drag, to be honest with you. But since I'm between these three, I'll just leave it in that Wax Queen category, like top 4. Because they were great once Dodge introduced the Scat Packs and the Hellcats. These were forgotten about by like a lot of people, I think, but they were still pretty damn well-performing Chargers. Now moving on, this is kind of interesting. This is the Dodge Ram, I think the SRT10 from the early 2000s. I'm gonna put this up in either drag or Wax Queen. Probably drag, but then I'm gonna have to like move up the SRT8. Screw it, I'll just move up the SRT8 as well. These were also, again, good performing trucks. You could tell I have a little bit of a bias with the trucks that are like make ridiculous power from factory, or just perform very well from factory, because I think that is pretty damn cool to have something that weighs that much and go that fast. So I'll leave that there for now. And now continuing on, again, looks like we got another old Cadillac. These could be all CTSVs, just different generations or whatever, but I can't differentiate them just from like these small ass pictures. Plus, to be honest with you, my specific like knowledge in Cadillacs is definitely lacking a little bit. So for that case, I'm just throwing them all in the Mommobile category. If you are more knowledgeable on them, or if I screwed up anywhere, you recognize one of these cars and you want to see them in a higher tier list, let me know down in the comments below. I apologize, but this tier list definitely has a lot of different cars in it. And this looks like, now this looks like a New Edge GT as well, just like the blue one. Maybe the blue one's a Mach 1. Maybe the blue one is the Mach 1, because I do see the little like hood scoop. If it's the Mach 1, moving it up to the Wax Queen and keeping the GT down in the budget daily category. Alright, unfortunately my camera actually overheated while filming. I don't really know what car we left off on. I know this Tahoe was like one of like the last ones. It's an early 2000s Chevy Tahoe. I don't remember if they made any like SS trims or anything like that. Just kind of rounding it off, some of like the other ones, Pontiac GTOs, Chevy SS. I think I put their V6 models like kind of down in either the budget daily or the Mommobile. If you want to pause the video now, this is pretty much the final list. I know I kind of rounded off a lot of these top tier cars first, but it's just because they were very easily recognizable for me. And again, I had a lot of different cars to work with in this tier list. If you want to see more of these tier list videos, I'm thinking about making it into a series and doing like a new tier list every Tuesday, calling it like Tier List Tuesdays or something cheesy like that. And also on top of that, if you're new to the channel, I mainly do like car reviews, automotive news, things of that nature, a bunch of different car content, hopefully builds sometime in the future. But yeah, definitely feel free to like, subscribe, and also again, if I messed any of these up, I know I have a lot of the kind of the Cadillacs, excuse me, down in the bottom tier, and again, I'm just not too knowledgeable with them. So if I missed anything up, or you would swap things around, let me know down in the comments below. I respond very, very positively to like constructive criticism and things like that. But like always, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.